The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 936, Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on all the social media platforms in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm staring at a Christmas tree past this camera. We'll get a camera on as we get closer to Christmas. We're going to have a fun Christmas time, I think, this year as we get closer to the end of the year. But with us, we got a fun one tonight. First of all, of course, with me to talk all the wrestles is The Riz.
It's a very sad day.
It's a sad day? Oh, yeah, it is a sad day.
New day.
It's a sad day. Yes, it is. And we'll talk about that here in a moment. But also with us live from a multi-person van on a tour.
Reporting live via satellite.
Yes, more or less right now, right? We hope you don't hit any dead spots there on the road there. Facade is with us, the Neon Ninja. You may have, last time he was on the show, had just received an RKO from Randy Orton in Madison Square Garden. Yo, wait a minute.
The last one that I did when I got this shirt was like at 3:30 in the morning for Cruel. And
God. I
was informed by the promoter that someone had seen that on Facebook and then messaged them, how can I get tickets? And then proceeded to buy 9 tickets after seeing that promo, me being scared for my life and talking to Bucky about it and feeding him a salted caramel cookie. Ice cream sandwich.
That's amazing. That's like, Sheets is very active with that too. Like Victor Benjamin's gotten into it with them with all the peanut butter stuff that he's been doing, right? Yeah. Like that, who knew these gas station food places, would be so good at social media. So
they need a championship belt.
Yeah, a Bucky's championship belt.
The Wawas, the Bucky's, the Sheets. Yeah, Sheets needs a championship belt too. That's
right.
Call.
That's right. We need to pull this clip and tag all those people and start the gas station war for all 3 of them.
Yes.
So, I mean, they're creeping. Bucky's and Wawa are both in Florida now, not so close to each other, but still.
Yeah. And now Bucky's is coming up to like Southern Ohio and Kentucky and stuff. So
have you visited that world's biggest Bucky's? This is what the podcast is now, by the way. Have you visited the world's biggest Bucky's near Dollywood?
If that is the world's biggest, then I have, because that's the one that I've frequented the most, because
nice.
We wrestled down in NGW down there in Knoxville and Pigeon Forge, and yeah, so right there, it's pretty much in Dollywood country,
nice.
The blessed land, some would say.
Yes.
The land of milk and honey. And but no, I've got to go to one in like Arkansas and Texas, and so I'm trying to like collect either a shirt or some sort of little dealie when I go to each one.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on. I know you're mid-tour and everything. So first of all, you mentioned mid-tour. You are on the JCW tour, the next one, I guess. I can't even keep up with how many shows they're doing. It's incredible. I don't know the last time I've seen a company tour this hard,
Yeah. Violent J is hit the ground running with the reboot of JCW.
Mm-hmm.
And man, we're headed out for the March of Madness, headed back out to Little Rock, Arkansas now. Yesterday, I drove from Pittsburgh to Detroit, met up with the homies, and then we are in a we're rolling 3 deep on a couple of passenger vans here. And,
nice.
I have this nice lighting situation going.
It's like
Mike and Willie Mack as a navigator, I guess. He's sleeping, actually.
Well, there's the back of Willie Mack's head there. Okay.
He's sleeping. He fell asleep. But I'm in a nice little buffer of 1 car and 2 cars, since we're driving kind of illegally with these lights on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's all right. You're way in the back. That's the studio
That's
part of
all
the
right.
car, right? I mean,
And we're also, like I said, we have a buffer. There's a car in front and a car in back. We're in a caravan of terror.
that's awesome. So tell you know, obviously, you know, you and I had a little adventure about a year ago to Hollow Wicked. That was, I think, both of our first one, and you've obviously grown into what's going on with this. Tell me a little bit. I don't even know where to start with you. I see you all over the place on social media from JCW. I mean, we've always talked about. I remember we talked about a year ago. You're kind of tailor made for a company like this, right?
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. And maybe some would say coming of age tale for a couple of young juggalos like you and I.
Yes, absolutely.
Making the pilgrimage out to Hollow Wicked last year, and then you know, keeping at it and keeping the spin kick and backflip and rope walking, dreadlocking with the wicked shit. And it seems like it's starting to work. And so Danny Moe's tagging along now. So the Neon Blondes have an esteemed presence in JCW. And I mean, she's not doing bad by herself either. She became the first ever JCW Women's Champion. So props to her for that.
Nice. No, it's good to see. And I know Chachi's been keeping me updated on what's going on over there. Whoop, there it is. There you guys are. So it's been a while.
Caleb.
This is like the third. Yeah, this is from like the first episode of JCW Lunacy here. You're not doing great with tag partners there. But anyways, you know,
Caleb Conley, he's been the bane of my existence since I've been coming to JCW again.
Nice.
And it's been over this American title, the JCW American title, and it's been 3 times that this douchebag has either this time he turned on me. That's the start of it all, that one right there. But yeah, another an assortment of characters, as you guys seen the Brothers of Construction too.
You're the third person from the JCW tour that we've had on the show. We had referee George Ross. Last week we had Joe Dombrowski, who I think I've been priming for juggalo-ness for all of our road trips over the last decade or so.
Yes,
you know,
Joe learned to whoop on this day.
Was it surprising for you to see Joe pop up on the mic as a longtime juggalo and knowing Joe and a long time being around Joe Dombrowski?
Yes, it was. It was tremendous, and some of the beautiful nuggets of Joe Dombrowski being applied, such as myself and Danny Moe teaming with Too Tough Tony, and Joe Dombrowski said, "It's like a juggalo and his dad finally reuniting to fight the forces of Southern Evil against the Southern Six." And I'm like, oh, Joe Dombrowski, a juggalo and his dad.
I love it.
Me and Too Tough Tony.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, you know, how is, you know, again, this is kind of like this again, I haven't seen a tour like this, you know, and you've traveled a good bit. You know, have you seen anything that's been this consistent, like, you know, as these guys have been for the last, like, you know, 2-3 months now?
Yeah, it's pretty insane because, you know, they're doing last tour, the Train to Terror tour, was 8 or 9 live events in a row, including one pay-per-view on Triller. And a lot of that is still what we're doing. So on Saturday, we just had another pay-per-view on Triller, Thanksgiving. Now we're continuing on with the March of Madness tour tomorrow in Little Rock, Arkansas, then St. Louis on Wednesday, or I'm sorry, St. Louis on the 5th on Thursday. And so then we have another event on the 19th. It's a charity event. You bring a jacket or some canned goods, things like that, and you get free admission to this event out in Detroit. And then they have the annual Christmas party, the Big Ballers, on the 21st out Columbus. So these are all also live stream events, either whether it be Triller or the Lunacy TV, which is back on the Psychopathic YouTube, streamed every single time. So these next 2 events, if you're not able to make it to Little Rock or St. Louis, you can stream these on YouTube for free.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a full media press on something like this too. We had asked George about this. I'm sorry, I keep miskeying thing, and our new Mayhem helper John keeps popping up on the screen. So you're not eating this time though. The other show though. But anyways, we were always like wilded out watching these first few episodes of JCW. Like, it's a very I love the aesthetic. Like the ring looks crazy with that wild design and everything. And we were just like wondering if it like affects you guys when you're in there around that. Like, feels like a crazy stencil art piece that you're wrestling in the middle of.
I mean, me personally, first off, shout out to JB Painting, David Cole. You guys may know him from Beyond Wrestling, but he is the artist behind that tremendous piece of art on that canvas there. But I kind of feel at home with the wild and goofy kind of art design on there. But I'm going to be 100% honest. That gets slick very quick in the center there where the writing is. So you got to just make sure that you're mindful and, sure-footed, because there's quite a few sweet canvases out now that have art pieces on them that you got to be aware of also, because of that, when the paint meets a little bit of water or, oil, stuff like that, it does get a little slippy, as the Yansers would say.
Tell me a little bit about what's going on with the Juggalo crowd here at the wrestling shows, because I know you and I have been to shows over the years. Seeing the one, especially the gatherings, have gone pretty crazy. I always heard, how rough it was when friends of ours were on, like, I think it was like the Tempest CD release party when they were doing a JCW tour of sorts there. That came here through town in Pittsburgh. Is the Juggalo crowd like I know, like when we went to Hallowicked, like you and I were surprised at how many like full families and children we're at an ICP show, Insane Clown Posse show. Are you seeing that kind of reflected on the wrestling? Is it is it I don't know if I want to say, is it a calmer crowd than it used to be? It's just like a really good wrestling crowd, or is this definitely the Juggalo crowd? Like, what's that vibe?
So yeah, exactly how we had talked about whenever it's transcendent now, because people grew up listening to ICP and everything, and now they're coming back to see them and bringing their kids. And I just showed Jay a message about kids. This lady had seen the kids interacting with me at the show on Saturdays. She felt like she wanted to send me a message, so that was super cool. And the fact that kids are so involved, and that the show is still, it's safe enough for kids to enjoy it without it being like, too over the top. So that's a real cool thing too. It transcends just Juggalos. So that's the real interesting part now. But to what you were saying also, the crowd is much more chill. They are definitely a different crowd, more welcoming, and even more so, there was a pretty cool experience that a couple of us got to have, because on the tour before, we had opened for ICP, and some people didn't even know the wrestling was going to be there. So it was like a happy accident.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, wow, this was awesome. We didn't even know there was going to be wrestling tonight. So inherently exposing people to wrestling was something that was like, so now, as you can see, we have the want and the people who want to see the wrestling again. So here we are a month later, coming out to bring them the fresh JCW wrestling that they've not. I mean, Little Rock, they told us, Little Rock, Birmingham, a lot of those places, they said they don't even really get wrestling around there at all. So the fact that they get wrestling and now this time Ouija Mac is pretty sick.
That's awesome. So it's a wrestling show, and then the Ouija Mac's kind of like the headliner kind of thing. Like it's not a. Is this more like I think you were there for? Do you remember the Tempest tour where like they did the wrestling and then they kind of performed in the ring for the concert part of it? Is it?
Yes.
Is it? Are we back to like that kind of format?
That, yeah. But no, the ring will be down, and there will be like a regular set on on the stage. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. And that's wild. Like, that's a logistical. We talked with George about like kind of how that goes, and it seems like everybody pitches in for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
It
sounds
can
like
be hectic. So yeah, everybody, the breakdown, it happens pretty quickly because all hands on deck. Everybody's pitching in.
Excellent. So how long is this tour running? Of course, I'm sure psychopathicrecords.com probably has the whole listing.
Absolutely. This one here tomorrow, in Little Rock, that one, there's tickets still available. And I do believe actually there are tickets still available for the one in St. Louis. I believe that the Hall is the name of the venue there in St. Louis.
Okay.
And then the Big Ballers in Columbus, that's the big event. The Christmas party, that's more of there's more of a concert with a few JCW matches, but with ICP, Wacko the Airhead, or Wacko the Kid, Shaggy the Airhead, and Ouija Mac.
I think Clownvis is going to be a part of that, which if you haven't seen Clownvis online, I saw him at the gathering last time I was there, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, Clownvis will be hosting, so that should be pretty cool too.
Yes, basically like a Clown Elvis kind of thing is the easiest way to explain that, I guess.
Yeah, he's got a sweet pompadour.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's got Clown Elvis / Evil Knievel outfit on. You know what I'm saying?
He has a Wikipedia page too.
Dang, I need someone to update my Wikipedia page. Anybody out there?
That's right. We know a couple people that are maybe doing some media. So there's Clownvis. There's a visual for you guys. Not her, the other one. There you go.
Look at that. Look at that hair.
Look at that hair.
Tell me he ain't seeing some things.
That's right. I don't know. Are you able to hang on for a few minutes? It looks like you're getting a kind of a bumpy ride over there.
It's up to you if I'm not a lunatic to watch.
There you go.
I'm actually holding a gimbal, as crazy as that is also. So
well, let's go to. I want to give a quick thanks to the Patreons here, and then I know there's a little bit of WWE news that I know you have an opinion of, and I know we are very emotional about. So I wanted to include you in that. Before I go to that, do you feel safer that there's no Randy Orton on this tour?
Yeah, we're heading to St. Louis, so I don't know.
Oh no!
That's right.
That is very true.
I hear voices.
And he can hit it out of nowhere. So
he can.
I mean, he could be just chilling in this Airbnb when we roll up, and then the Viper strikes. We thought he was out on commission from a pile driver from Good Brother, but
that is true. He is out on injury, so we'll see what happens with that too. Well, I
think he's just trying to chill and take some turkey time.
That might be it. He's going off that diet that he complains about. So, all right, we'll take a moment here to thank our Patreon supporters. Thank you, Facade and Neon Ninja, for joining us live from the road on the JCW tour, of course. But thank you, everybody that does support the show here at Wrestling Mayhem Show. Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. There's a live stream going on over there that we sent out that you got us talking when we get a commercial break and everything here coming up. But in the meantime, thank you, everybody that does support the show at the fan of the show level. Bo Diggity! Woo!
Again, it doesn't work.
Woo! You can do a low woo, so the Zoom doesn't take it away from you. As well as our friends,
whoop.
Team. We'll give them a whoop whoop this week. Team Hammer Fist down there in Florida, Tupac family, Bubba Brewer of the Triple B Podcast and APWF, and Jason French at the Pop Club level. Dave Prop Pod Podner, Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid, Matt True Prince of Pro on the Blue Sky. We'll plug the Blue Sky now for him, as well as the Riz at the Pizza Club, and Bradley on the manager level. I actually got to watch Survivor Series with Bradley. Oh wait, we need the Bradley visual right there, as you do. Oh boy,
who's that Wedgiemon?
Who? That's a good one, actually.
It's Riz.
Bradley did not.
I can't sit here in the middle of it.
No, because then it gets awkward. You're just like you're in the middle
weird.
of something.
Somebody
Bradley did not
should
bring
The
really
up.
original Rizzler.
Yes.
Yes.
No, we made it.
How does it go? How's it go? It's like this, right?
I don't think we don't do that on this show, Facade. Did you see our statement from a week ago about how we have on this show the original recipe Riz?
Oh my!
Mm-hmm.
I will no longer speak
That's right. That's right. I feel bad. I took a selfie with David Lawless last week, and he has a Rizzler shirt on. And I'm like, oh no. Well, and also he did the reveal thing because he was doing the Black Hand Society take off the NWO shirt thing, the turn, and all he had was a Rizzler shirt. I thought he'd have an 880 shirt on. I'm like, oh, he didn't change his shirt. What are you doing, Lawless? It's like, I don't. Is he Team
Lawless.
Rizzler or is he Team 880? I don't know how this show works anymore.
It's David Lawless.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
That's what he does.
Yes, if you want to understand what David Lawless does, just watch I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. Anyways, Facade, so of course last night, I think the biggest, harshest heel turn of all time happened in WWE, where the New Day basically turned on Big E verbally. And
both of them.
I love these guys are going to go at it. Is Kofi the heel? Is Woods the heel? And now it's like, oh no, they're both the assholes. Was
like
chef's kiss.
During the promo.
The package and the celebration, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like during that promo though, like I don't know if Sorg, if you were in on the message, like the Mayhem Show message.
No, because I watched everything this morning because I fell asleep last night.
So Tina, during the show, like we were just going over like, oh, who's turning, which one's this, which one's that, and Tina goes, oh no, they're both turning on E, and Big E hasn't come out yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, no, it's gonna be one or the other. It's fine. They're gonna have cool matches. It's gonna be fine. And then like slowly it happened,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the best. The best part about that was before before Big E came out. I think it was Woods. No, it was Kofi. Like started doing like the serious parent talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, this is not your fault. I'm like, are we getting a divorce? like all the whole thing.
You're just like I've been a part of this conversation. I've been here before, you know.
But like the slow burn, and like I mentioned last week, the slight hints that something is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Woods wearing dark Goku,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, dark Goku attire, Kofi with the Majin necklace, like all of that was like, we were kind of going, oh, it's going to be one or the other. It's fine. And then we didn't really realize that it could be both. And it hurt.
You've been swerved, brother. You've been swerved.
And it hurt. I feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel angry.
Mm-hmm.
I hope all the tag teams kick their ass. It worked.
They are getting the championship. They are headline.
Oh, no,
they are
yeah.
getting a championship
No.
match at WrestleMania at this point. No
It
way.
worked.
No way. Yes. Facade, how are you feeling off of this?
So, I mean, they had me with the balloons and all the video and all that. And what I really thought, I wasn't thinking that I knew there was going to be some kind of Big E involvement, but I thought that Kofi was going to actually turn on Woods. And so there was going to be some like completely diversionary turn that no one was expecting, which we got. And like you said, it was like a slow burn, but it wasn't just a slow burn. It was like molten magma, just like, it's like it's just grinding away. It's like, how can they just keep going? They just keep going. They keep
And
going.
it kept hurting.
It just kept hurting. Yes. So now I don't know. This is just me, but I love it because they were being so wild with their anger and everything, and I think it's going to be like a nice little time for them to be heels. However, I think, you know, if that little egg gets time to incubate, they'll come back around with Big E as their manager with, I don't know, maybe just, I'd say, the righteous ones that kind of make rights wrong in the Wyatt Six. I don't know. Down the line, you know what I'm saying? Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that would be a kind of a cool little thing that they could do too.
And they hung that carrot of Big E hanging out, being the manager too, to try to fix things, right?
Yep.
And we're just like, man, and to tell the guy that broke
And
this,
people bought it. They're like, I want that. Yes.
yes,
And it was touching. I mean, it really was.
yeah,
But that's also what makes me think if the, let the record show with the Gables and the now we're seeing with Kerry and Cross and Miz, they're coming, they kind of seek revenge to trying to right the wrongs of people that have hurt their family, kind of thing. That's kind of their MO.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, Facade, hey, it looks like it's getting bumpy over there. I know, even with that gumble. So
Yep.
No
worries, guys.
We won't let you guys ride dirty, at least in this way, with that light on here for much longer. At least, I mean, I can't speak for anything else. I don't know what's legal in Arkansas. So, thank you so much for jumping in here on the tour and
Thank you guys again.
helping complete our trilogy of JCW check-ins.
Yeah, we'll keep on keeping on it, Mike. We're gonna get you back out here, get these OGs running, and give you a little more than the Hallowicked sights and sounds.
I got one more question, because last time I talked to Willie Mack, I realized that every time I've seen him, he was taking those what do you call them, the
skewers,
the skewers to the forehead. It felt like I've 2 or 3 shows in a row. It felt like, has he taken skewers at any point on this tour?
No. However, Caleb Conley did in the match that we had. It was me, Mosh Pit Mike, who, as you may or may not know, if you follow JCW, man of 1,000 gimmicks.
Yes.
And
yes.
Mosh Pit Mike was Mosh Pit Mayhem the other night, and there were some, let's just say, imaginary deathmatch weapons involved.
Fantastic.
Including but not limited to Caleb Conley getting skewers in his head and realizing he's not really skewered in his head. But also Caleb Conley getting put through an imaginary door table. And then Mosh Pit Mike accidentally putting himself through a pane of glass that he had put in the corner of the ring, which then led to his downfall. It was strange because I even swear I heard a glass breaking sound, even though I didn't see it actually break. But give it a watch. That one's on Triller Plus also.
Okay, I have to look out for that one. Thank you for that. And of course, he's one Facade on all his social medias. Thank you so much. Be safe out there on the road. Baby. Keep rocking with the Juggalos, and whoop whoop to you too, sir.
Whoop whoop.
Thank you so much, man. All right, there goes Facade. I'm glad we got the check in there, and like you said, that's a big one for me, because this show wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Juggalo stuff. Because that's the community that we were building before we started this. Around when we started this podcast came from it. When we were doing a bunch of media back then and stuff. So really appreciate that, and good seeing that. Especially that's the kid that was in the crowds of the Juggalo shows back in the day, Riz. Back before, when you were just a gleam in your parents' eye. I don't know, maybe not that long ago, but still, it was pretty long. It was pretty long ago.
I'm not that young.
It's pretty long ago. Yeah, you're a child. You're
I'm really not that young. But okay.
No. Well, anyways, but no, that was the Nune thing was pretty special, like in a terrible way last night. So, and I love they kept going, we're gonna celebrate this, even though everybody looks like they're marching out to the no, this is the final thing. This is no, I'm going to take you on that final date, even though this is our last one. Kind of situation.
The best thing was you saw. They did the pre-match walk up in the hallways, separate,
yep,
they're
coming out
stuff,
for a
they're
fight.
going to wrestle. But even when they came out, you saw like they started looking over at like the box of Bootios, the trombone, and they did their walk of like, oh, remember this? They did a Remember When episode or remember when segment. For those who have followed Wrestling Mayhem Show for quite some time, but they did like a whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, that's right, we did all this stuff, and then they just went away.
Hand waving for those on audio, by the way.
What?
That was just a bunch of hand waving for all.
This is hand waving.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
But between that and the what was it? Three segments of Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Drew McIntyre. I don't know if you're up that far, Sorg.
Oh yeah. No, I got through the whole show.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
I was making sure.
Yeah.
I didn't want to spoil anything, but like that whole timeline of Punk hates Seth. Seth hates Punk. Seth also now hates because Seth hates Punk because he helped Roman, but also hates Punk because he's CM Punk. Seth now hates Sami Zayn because Sami Zayn helped Punk as well as helped Roman.
Seth is in the same boat as Kevin Owens is right now, right?
But is also in the same boat as Drew McIntyre.
Yes. Oh. What did you just piece together?
So hear me out.
Okay.
So we know Drew McIntyre is back and attacked Sami Zayn.
Sure. Who teamed with Punk?
Yes.
Yes.
But who took out Jey Uso? Or Jimmy? No, main event.
It was
Jey.
Jay. It was Jay. Yes. Presumably Drew, right? We don't know though, do we?
We don't know.
Oh no.
It could be. It could be, KO just
could be
helping.
Could be. He swung by. They're near Canada.
With what happened to the New Day, and like that big ass swerve of just saying, we're just gonna be a heel team now. It could be anybody. It could be Cody Rhodes. It could be people who have been snubbed by not being on that team. Because it wasn't just Seth Rollins that said no, first of all, but it wasn't just Seth Rollins, and also Roman said no to Seth Rollins as well. But he said no to a lot of people. He pissed off a lot of people. So it could be just
I love that.
anybody.
I love it's this thing. Like I feel like AEW is doing a similar thing that we'll get to too, where it doesn't matter like heel and face doesn't much matter. It's just like people with issues with each other, right? And it's being done very well.
It's a season of gray.
It's a season of gray. Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
all the gray characters,
It's pretty much like it's gonna sound very cliche, but what's happening now is very much tribalism.
Oh yeah, but internally and with people in
everybody
there.
has their own chief.
Everybody has their own chief. He says
Solo's right.
Yeah.
Roman's right.
Yeah.
Punk's right.
Yeah.
Drew's right.
Yeah.
Seth's right.
Yeah.
Sammy's right.
Yeah.
Like, whose side are you on?
Yeah, you got to pick I'm more. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kevin's right in some aspects.
Kevin's right.
Yeah, Kevin's been leaning in the I'm right, but I'm taking it the wrong way. By pile driving Orton to put him out.
Kevin's right. New Day's right.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's there's no more right or wrong.
So good. So
It's
good.
centered in like they want that. They want that.
and
So they kind of want that UFC reaction
Mhm.
where it's like
I was thinking
one
this
or
too.
the other.
I was exactly thinking this too. It's like there's not a good guy or a bad guy when you have a UFC fight. There's just you pick like one guy or the other, right?
Mhm.
You were, or even Tyson and Paul, right? You were a fan of one or the other, probably, right?
Mhm.
Going into it, like you just there nobody nobody's the face in that one at all. So like just in life,
Well,
but what?
Yeah, in life.
In
yeah,
life,
yeah.
yeah, like just from the I'm just catching up with the chat room a little bit here. But Roman wins back the title. Paul helps Punk cash in, maybe. And again, Tina asked, we still don't know what the favor is, and I think we kind of iterated like the favor is whatever Punk needs at the right time. Right, because he was talking about the multiple pass, so I think that adds a little ambiguity to what that favor is. It could be something directly with Roman. It could be something just get me a title shot. Work your
Like give
your
me number
strings.
30.
Yeah, get me number 30. Something like that, right? So which could lead into something, or what could lead? Because again, remember, Punk has never main evented a WrestleMania. That was one of the sticking points.
That's sad.
Yeah. For as big as he was when he was there, and that's one of the things that was one of the sticking points. That really led to him just being so disenchanted with the situation, because I think there was maybe a rumor he was going to be leading towards main event, but then like the Rock thing happened, he had to drop it, at the Rumble before or whatever, things like that. So, no, exactly. So, go ahead.
Do we get something like? Do we get something like Punk versus Rock?
Oh my God, please! I would love if we do
Like
get
I don't know why,
Rock's got
but
some
that
business.
just stuck in my head.
Rock's got some business with Cody for a while, but I could see a long haul thing of it comes back around to Punk being like, "You're the reason I didn't have a main event."
Yep.
And coming back at him. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And I mean, there's money there if Punk keeps up with things and on
Like
this,
I know
on
they're
this
going.
train.
I know they're going with Roman, but
Sure.
it just like,
There's a lot.
that would give him him a main
mean,
event match.
There's a lot of easy, low hanging fruit for them to do with Rock before they get to Punk.
Mhm.
Now, circumstances could lead to them doing it earlier, depending. Somebody gets injured, who knows? Like a lot of things could happen with that. So, anyways, but we'll talk about a lot of those things. But in the meantime, a reminder that you can go check out a lot of fun stuff over at indiewrestling.us shortly. I know it's completed editing. We're waiting. I'm waiting for our web person to post it. But the latest Big League Wrestling, Big League Pro Wrestling out of Erie last Wednesday Night Wars, which includes Pretty Boy Smooth against Donovan Dijak for the NWA Midwest Championship, as a part of that show that will be out on VOD and DVD here shortly. And of course, Tommy Dreamer and Channing Dector against John McChesney and Bill Collier, which it included a man lift was used in the match at some point, is my understanding. So I've only done the assembly edit on this. I haven't gone deep into it, but from the images I've seen and the little bit I've seen of it, this looks like a wild show. So go check it out. And also the Thanksgiving Bash 3 from Penn Brewery was we alluded to it with David Lawless here earlier in the show, but that was a fun show that was also on all of our streaming platforms that you can check out from 880 Wrestling. And while there, hey, big announcement from 880 Wrestling. It is official. 880 is moving to the city. Moving out of, we've outgrown our New Kensington. It's their company. I mean, we do a thing there on Thursdays, but so they have outgrown their Thursday, their New Kensington facility. They're going to be moving into what most would know as a one-up stage shop down there in the South Side. So I don't mind the commute. It's just a tunnel away for me, but it's going to be a lot of fun with that. And it is not in the skate park part from the No Ring shows, by the way. I want to point that out. But yeah, we're going to be moving in there here and starting off shows, as nothing comes up with moving all the gear and stuff. It looks like we're going to do a farewell show, presumably on December 26th at New Kensington, and we'll be starting off the next week on January 3rd, is it? I think. So it's going to be a big wrestle week for sure for that. Yeah, I think it is the 3rd, actually. Maybe the 2nd, actually. I don't know. Either way, we'll figure it out, the dates and stuff as we get closer. But excited about that. Excited to be closer to that. I know it feels like there's been a lot of we obviously, like, I think they did record numbers when we did the Penn Brewery show last Wednesday. There's an appetite for wrestling in the city and not 45 minutes away, and I'm glad to see that more companies like 880 and Joy and others are serving that. That I think I have thought has been a gap since I started going to wrestling here in around this town. So looking forward to see how that goes. It's going to be a mood shift, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's not like dissing like the shows that we go to.
No.
Like 45 minutes away.
No.
But still, in Pittsburgh,
Yes.
in this city,
in the city
like 5
limits,
minutes
or at
away,
least in sight of it.
like, with the skyline,
Mm-hmm,
everything, like.
That's
what wrestling needs,
dude.
That's what Pittsburgh
There was a
needs.
point during the Wednesday night show, because we're in this ballroom that they have there at Penn Brewery, right? and there's a point, if you look, I noticed that when we were live switching it, when they come around the corner, like the front corner, and you're looking at a certain angle, you're looking straight out a window behind them, and you see the Highmark building. It's like, holy shit! Like, I didn't know there was an actual view here. I'm like, oh, we're in this ballroom. The windows aren't very big. You're not going to see that we're in the city. And then, like, right in that shot is just right there. And I think, like, when MV is and by the way, MV is a permanent part of Penn Brewery, as he put his a nice MV Young sized head print into the wall during his fight with Jack Pollock. Ooh, boy. That was an uncomfortable conversation, it sounded like, afterwards. So, but anyways, they love wrestling there, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. So, listen, when the owner has his own championship belt for his realty company, I think we're in good hands.
Yeah.
So, and
Also,
once again,
Sorg, I might like during the break, I have to show you something.
Okay. No, you got secret stuff for the Patreon to show me? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. But anyways, no, they got some really good stuff going on there. Anyways, let me just double check my notes on talking points. I think we're going to push AEW until after the break, because WWE is doing so much. War Games. Was this? I love that they just had a random interview in the back to make sure William Regal could say War Games again. So the one reason
it was so good to hear
the
that.
one reason to bring him back, right? So, by the way, Rhea coming out last week with the new, or was it 2 weeks ago, with the mask, and just comes out, yells War Games, and headbutts Liv was like the best moment leading up. Like, I don't care if these are hodgepodge teams on the women's side. That was the best presentation, and what she did with the mask. Let me say, the mask presentation. Let me see if I can pull up the tweet so we can get some visuals here. But tweet, post, whatever it is these days. But like her mask presentation during that, combined with the samurai Shinsuke Nakamura, were like the top level costume decisions, like, from the night. I love it. Survivor Series felt like such a big show. I think they said it was the largest attended attendance record for an arena show in North America for WWE for this. Both of them with great presentations. Shinsuke with the win, the United States Championship win over LA Knight. This is good. This is some good stuff right here. This is some good reboot for Shinsuke. And Rhea's making the best of a bad situation with her, injury ? But yeah, no, good to see that. And Riz, what did you think of the games themselves?
The games, War Games.
Yes.
They were fucking amazing.
They were wargamey.
They were a lot of wargamey.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the women's match better, but the men's told the better story. Obviously, it was the two bloodlines going at it. So yeah, I mean, like, you don't need blood and guts to make a great ass War Games match.
And there wasn't a lot in there, was there?
No. I mean, it was more like internal stuff, like Jay probably doing something with his foot or after the dive, and then some injury to Bronson Reed, but yeah, and also Io Sky needs more trash cans.
Yes. I was literally just reading the part where Dave is like, EO trash can spot is the new Kofi spot. Yes.
Yes.
I didn't see it. EO had a trash can under the ring that was painted and with a strap so she could carry it up the cage.
Mm-hmm.
But we couldn't see the adorable smile when she put it over because she was facing the other way.
So
that was just kind of the best part of it. But
did you watch the post show, like the post?
No, I can't take
whatever
post
that
shows
is.
anymore. It's just too much. I watch the highlights on social media.
Oh, so yeah, somebody asked Io,
I trust the trash can.
Yeah, I just trust the trash can.
I trust the trash can.
If you're telling me I have to go up a giant cage and put on a trash can on my head and trust a trash can not to tip over with me inside it, I will cry. I will cry and decline.
The absolute highlight. Pointing out a few things with pictures. I think Tina may have posted in one of the chats. I believe Jay and Sammy are three-time three-peat on War Games in the last 3 years, which I think are all the three main roster War Games, if I'm not mistaken, because it was an NXT thing before that. So that's fun as well. I love there was a thing where the participants of last year's War Games match, which was Judgment Day against a lot of the Cody and Jay and Sammy, the anti-Judgment Day, I suppose. They had a reaction kind of watch along that's on a lot of the social media. I think I was watching bits of it on TikTok and stuff, right? And so definitely worthwhile, on that too. So they kind of mess with each other all the time. So also I thought this was fun because Tom Lawler was Philly Tom Lawler was kind of messing with this because did you notice we had a little bit of an MMA fight kind of break out in the middle of that scuffle?
Yep. And I like how this looked vaguely familiar to a certain video.
Yeah, what video? Which video?
The
Oh wait, is it this one? Is it oh wait, that is hold on, wait a second. Let me wait for this video to reset. There we go. That one there?
Yeah, pretty much that one.
I love Tom Lawler is my favorite ex-UFC guy, by the way.
Yep. I see that one, and then I'm also thinking about the backstage footage.
If there's on audio, this is literally the CM Punk fight, I think, right? So, but yeah, did they do that on purpose? They did it on purpose. They did. They did that on purpose for sure, right? Just to get everybody that's paying attention.
They did that on purpose. They did the "you talk too much" on purpose for Matthew and Botchamania. They did everything on purpose.
Dude, again, I keep talking about you watch wrestling and you're just like, I can't wait for Botchamania. Because that's going to be on there, Somebody pulled the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the TV thing, and and again, they know what they're doing. They know they just set something up for Botchamania. Matthew is definitely part of the culture at this point. So,
WWE took time to get the meme culture. They took I
don't even know if it's just them. I think the wrestlers are aware. You know what I mean?
Oh no, the wrestlers are aware.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about this has been it's an underground thing.
It's
but not
it's not that underground anymore.
Right now, it's not
social media.
We have memes. We have people coming out going we have people saying all this stuff for Botchamania. We have a lot of gifable moments as well as real cinema-like storylines. But I feel like now we're seeing it because certain aspects are no longer in control of their product.
Wait, what do you mean by that statement? What do you mean they're not in control of their product? As in, like, social media kind of takes over, or like the wrestlers are just kind
The
of
wrestlers are
put
more
in
control.
stuff for social media
I think you don't get what we get from
scripts.
Kofi
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
and Xavier if a certain somebody.
Oh no,
is still in
because if they
control.
don't understand it, you just move on.
'Cause
Right?
I think wrestlers are now more in. And I hate using this. They're more independent on their future in WWE
Yeah.
and in all of pro wrestling, not just WWE.
Wow.
Like in AEW, in WWE now, especially in TNA, but like you have these freedom of movement types where we're just going, okay, you like this, let's do it. Let's build on that.
Yeah.
And not just like let's shut you up.
It definitely feels like the result of a more open creative process, that everybody's informed on. And again, like, most I think most wrestlers are used to being kind of their own creative to a certain point, or in charge of it, more in charge of it. Some people just like to be told what to do. Hey, you're this character, go. And that kind of thing. Sure. But I think the people that do the best are the ones that are like, can own it, can own their story, can own their character and everything like that,
And we
like,
saw
you think anybody's telling Facade to look like that?
No, Facade.
Yeah, that's literally what the guys looked like since I saw him at ICP shows before he was even a wrestler. So like
I've seen him at I think I saw his first or second. I think I've seen his debut.
We
match.
have both seen his entire career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was against Bubba.
Bubba the Bulldog? Yeah.
And he fell off the. But
Bubba the
he
Bulldog.
was the same.
Bubba the Bulldog is a local radio DJ, host, whatever.
Yeah.
He's still doing it. I think. He was at least as of a year ago. I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he is. But yeah, and he was also a pro wrestler, and I think had a hand in helping with Kurt Angle's training, or trained around the same time or something like that. Listen to an old version. I'm sure it's somewhere in the archives on this show when we talk to him. So, but anyways, But
he's the same person. Like Facade's the same person.
For better or for worse, he's the same person. So, but yeah, hey pal, would you put it in a turkey suit? That's good shit. Who had a turkey suit this week? Was that in our TNA?
It was Kazarian.
Was it TNA?
Kazarian?
Okay, I thought somebody else did it.
It was TNA.
Hold on. No.
Because they
there was a turkey shoot. There was a turkey suits match on the Big League show from Wednesday. I did come across that when I was doing the assembly on it. So, there's a selling point for you. And the match, I think, is the former Mambo Italiano Casciano. I keep forgetting his last name. I'm so sorry, Mambo. He's doing such great stuff, by the way. But anyways, wrestlers have more creative freedom, input, and most importantly, trust from those in charge nowadays, says Matt out there in the chat realm.
That's it. That's
there you go.
Exactly
Thank you for bringing Riz's thoughts to a cohesive sentence.
My word salad is very salady.
Riz just needs a ghostwriter sometimes. Maybe John can help you with that. Our intern helping out in the chat room. I hope you guys enjoying the live chat room. John is in there.
Some guy?
No.
John. That John.
Intern John.
Not some guy.
That's somebody else.
Not the actual author.
Not the actual. I don't know. Are you also an author? No. Are just all Johns we know authors? No. Okay.
Okay.
You can't. Well, you kind of are right now in the chat room. So I mean, there's that.
I mean, we did find Michael Sword as a real person.
Yeah, that messed with me. What the hell was I listening to when that happened? Anyways, we're not getting into that. No. Where are we at? B4B stood for Back for Blood on Rhea's mask, and Tina's also pointing out that that's a Jason Baker, who's from here in Pittsburgh, that also did Bray Wyatt's masks and stuff like that. Of course it fucking was, right? Of course that's a Baker one.
I was thinking like it's gonna be like Savini or something like that, but yeah.
Well, he's part of the Savini school and everything down there, so it is Savini adjacent. So, but anyways, Brian Myers lost a turkey suit match at TNA's last.
Brian Myers,
there you go. There you go. Because he seems like the right one to do that.
Yeah.
Riz, let's go take a break, and we will be back. And I want to talk about AEW for a moment. And what's
Sure.
going on there is a lot of movements. There's a show going away that we will pour one out for here for the end of the month and kind of see what the landscape looks like there, right? And we'll be right back after whatever I have plugged in this playlist.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For mercy, you're all alone, unable to handle the pressure of forced mortification. Now let the torture begin.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For mercy, you're all alone, unable to handle the pressure of forced mortification. Now let the torture begin.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And
We are back, and on this video is a Sheets Championship belt, which is for the Sheets to Sheets Trail Run in Virginia. Oh my God! Where do I sign up?
Like,
Apparently,
so we're getting Dutters. We're getting the friend that we were doing the relay with. We're getting Dave Podner, and we'll do the like Sorg and I will do the shortest tracks, of course. But yeah, there's a Sheets belt.
I still have a 10-miler that I didn't complete yet, so I think I'm past the dedeadline officially for the virtual, but I'm gonna get it in. I am gonna get it in when like
during the show. I actually texted Dutters the link for this.
Oh, okay, because I just tagged them all in the Slack too. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. I think she's at the Pens game, so
yeah,
she might be occupied right now.
That's fine.
Working, not attending. So anyways, sorry, I need to collect myself after that reveal that there's a whole like Sheets 5K.
There is a Sheets.
So is
belt.
it like actually we're off topic, but whatever. I
don't care.
I should have held this for the Patreon. To
be honest, like it's
is this more interesting than wrestling news anyways?
Sure.
Maybe a little bit. Where
does Wawa have a championship belt?
Actually, did they?
Do they?
Come on, research department. Come on, research department.
They do.
Of course they do. What's that? Oh, no. The chat realm. The chat realm is the general research. I don't know. You're kind of our research department now. So.
It's $150 for the Wawa championship belt.
Only $150 for the Wawa championship belt.
Yeah,
whatever.
It actually looks. It actually looks really good.
We've had issues with Wawa. We've had functional issues with Wawa actually.
Wait, there's one where I have to look up. But keep going.
Wawa has messed up our order multiple times. Okay, twice that we went there, but it was enough for us not to want to Wawa anymore. That aside, are you still doing stuff, or can I get into the stories here?
No, you can get into the stories.
Sure?
I'm just looking at
I need help here, but because if you're occupied, I don't want to really get too deep into this yet.
Keep going.
I don't really have
it's fine.
My
hands are up. I'm definitely not looking up to see if Bucky's has a championship.
Let's just complete the trifecta here. Riz, this is something that everybody's kind of supposed for a while because Rampage has been missing from a lot of the chatter about the simulcast shows coming to AEW shows coming to Max here in the new year, starting with Fight for the Fallen. Everybody kind of supposed that it was going away. It's kind of been the C brand one. It's kind of become a little random, although there's some really good matches that have been on there even in the last month, I feel. And I did really enjoy it. Lucha Fest that they had for the Rampage placeholder show they had on Saturday. But no, it is official. Apparently, the last Rampage will be filmed along with presumably Dynamite from the Hammerstein. Listen, is it Hammerstein or Hammerstein? Did I just Mandela effect this thing?
Berenstain.
Did we? Is it Hammerstein?
It's the Berenstain Ballroom.
The Berenstain Ballroom in New York.
That's Berenstain.
Berenstain. Stein.
That's Steen. That's Stein.
Stein.
It's Stain.
Stain.
Also, I'm just gonna put that in the Slack.
Okay. Something else for the Slack. But anyways, so that's going to be the end of it, and it's going to be a New Year's smash that they're going to have on that last Friday before the New Year's, and that will be the end of Rampage. I do not see this as people are like, oh yeah, it was a terrible show. Oh, AEW is detracting, all that kind of stuff. I think there's some other factors to consider here. One, first of all, I point out on social media, a Rampage honestly gave me some of my favorite AEW moments that I got to attend in person, including the first Rampage was actually here in Pittsburgh with, of course, Britt Baker, part of that one. Christian Cage beating Kenny Omega for the Impact Championship, to which was Chachi and I sitting in the stands saying, Chachi saying they would never drop the belt for Impact Wrestling on this episode of Rampage in the opening match. And I said, you sure about that? To which we both almost threw ourselves off the balcony seats when we jumped up with excitement when it went down.
If anybody can do it, it's Christian Dad Cage.
That's right.
Also,
Christian.
have you been getting this is
Were
a
you
side
getting the
note.
ads too? Are you getting the
We're
edge of
getting
Christian ads?
the ads about dad
Oh my
bods,
God! I think I
and it's
might pull
Christian
up.
Cage.
It's well, first it was just Edge, right? And now
Yeah,
it's
it was
both
Edge,
of them.
and then it's Christian Cage.
Yeah.
and then it was both of them, and then one of them had like Finn Balor on it at one point.
What?
And then all of a sudden it's just Christian Cage.
I am.
And then the comment section on that is amazing.
I bet you if I scroll through my Instagram right now, I'll come across one of those ads because they have been super serving me those ads lately. And of course, now it's not going to come up now that I want it to, right? There's all of our stuff, but not that apparently. So I will share it with everybody when it comes up. I mean, you've all seen it. I'm sure you've all seen it. We all have the same algorithm on social media if you watch this show, probably. So that is a very awkward Krampus situation there. I want to send that just to Riz for later.
An awkward Krampus situation.
Yeah, you'll understand. I think that Krampus had boobs on its back, and was dancing, and I don't know. Krampus.
Sorry, you didn't react to my the shit man Batman villain post that I sent you.
No, it was the sausage with the ants where I stopped things on you were sending to me. Okay, man, you're in
wiener.
Instagram jail right now.
Wieners.
You were the wiener being eaten by ants. No, Riz.
What the fuck? What is this?
What is what? What did I send you? I'm afraid to show it on the show. Anyways, AEW Rampage is going away. R.I.P. Other moment that was really big is I did have an opportunity because there was a Warriors show that weekend. We were in Chicago when CM Punk debuted. Got the ice cream. Saw the rappers in the back. Again, it led to some moments. Again, this is a precursor. It obviously has been kind of truncated by Collision becoming a thing. And I think there's a couple factors for that. One, who wants to run a show against SmackDown when they move to 3 hours here at the beginning of the year? This could be a little bit of a realignment so they can focus a little more. It's obviously been kind of a tacked on show at this point. It feels like it from week to week. Sometimes it feels like an old AEW Dark, to be honest. Honestly, sometimes Collision feels like that on the very, very off weeks, right? When they know they're going to put the show at 3 in the afternoon for some reason because the NBA finals. So, like, I
got
go ahead.
A question for you about that. Do you think because we know, like, the Saturday shows, like, do you think because that a handful of the wrestlers, like the House of Black and FTR and all those all the wrestlers over there went to Collision, that it also took the pool from the Rampage pool?
I don't know. I don't understand completely the talent delineations between the two shows. Like, I think it's been a very fluid thing, other than, like, I don't know, FTR works Saturdays, I guess, or Thursdays/Saturdays. So no, I don't think. I think it was a general focus issue, to be quite honest. Like developing an hour of television for anything is tough. And to do that on top of, we're squeezing it into this, like, even like the one they had last week was taped like 2 weeks ago, and that's been happening more and more. Versus like, Ring of Honor is kind of taped all around, between all the tapings and things like that. Now, the other factor for this is I will say rumor alert here, that's been going around that supposedly ROH is nearing a TV deal that could be for True TV in prime time. So that could be a thing where Rampage goes away so we can focus on Ring of Honor as a product, right? You only get. There was a big discussion on the show earlier about assets and people and things like that. If you're stretching people too thin, hey, you got your production crew, but that's a lot of TV to be producing still. That's a lot of creative to be creating, right? They got plenty of wrestlers. Like, we talk about how deep this roster is, that feels like it's barely being touched, even with Ring of Honor and everything being taped. But still, like, it's gonna fade. At a certain point, you get tired trying to come up with 5 hours? No, even more. 5, 6, 7 hours of television every week with Ring of Honor included. Not counting the pay-per-views, not counting what that does to your your editors, your production, your promo makers, your cameramen, your your producers, your whatever else in the middle. So I mean, WWE, I think, gets this. Like, you felt like there was filler stuff, especially when they were on the 3-hour shows, right? For a while there. They got better about that there towards the end of the 3-hour runs. We'll see how that rolls when we get into the Netflix and the SmackDown 3-hour era, right? When they're back to 6 hours of television. Obviously NXT is a separate thing with a different team, and I think that's the only way they get away with it. So that's kind of an interesting path, right? AEW, again, I will go. AEW is not as built up and has the resources of a WWE. No. They have a lot more resources than the next company below them, but they are still not there. That is not just a thing you can throw money at to get that, because it comes with experience and years and years of doing this, right? And they're just kind of locking things down right now at WWE to make it even better. They know how to produce the TV. Now they have relearned how to make us give a shit, which really what it all comes down to.
I mean, that's all that matters. Like, honestly, putting faith in the wrestlers to make a good product is what makes the good product.
Yeah, and I think that happened. I think that's been that's been AEW's strong suit since the beginning, right? No, it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always work for WWE even today, to be honest, right?
But I think we mentioned this before. Like, it doesn't work sometimes, but I feel like I personally feel like AEW is in a bigger a more of a microscope than WWE, because they are going against, or they're not going against WWE, but they are they're their rival pretty much. So they have to be pitch perfect.
Yeah.
And like, don't mess it up. Yep. Don't do this. But when they do, it's kind of just like stacking up against them.
Yep.
For instance, this WWE tournament that's happening.
You talking about the women's tournaments?
Yeah. I'm kind of confused.
Why are you confused? Because there's 2 tournaments going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I don't think they needed more belts, but it's fine. But the reactions to the wrestlers that are in these tournaments, there are none.
Okay. And the whole point is to build up some more of that women's undercard, I think. Right? So, like, they give them more opportunities. I mean, they will have 3 hours to build, and rather than just having random women's matches, you can do, like, these championship stories, right? I think it is to, like, give themselves a little bit of a relief when they get to the 3 hours thing, so hopefully they don't burn out on things as easily.
Yeah, and
it's a symptom of the problem.
It is.
But still, I think that's kind of cool that we finally have equivalency of a women's, secondary championship list. Like, I think, like, the tag team championships being a floaty thing, I know it's more belts, but I don't like the floaty championship thing. You know what I mean? I if we're doing this with every other belt, I would rather there be a women's Raw, women's SmackDown championship of some sort.
Right.
Tag team. Of course. I'm just not a fan of it. It's like you're either divided or you're not. I don't like this wishy-washiness with it, because I think it breaks up the whole, that's the Friday, your story happens on Friday thing. And I think it's confusing as a watcher. Wait, what show are they on? Oh, they're going to be over here. Like, and I get people's popping up at NXT and it becoming the thing, but still, like, that's cool. That's the mushy middle, and we're trying to help those kids out down there, right? They make sure people
mushy
are watching
was
them.
My name in high school.
What? Was that your name?
Mushy Middle was my nickname in high school. Sorg.
Mushy. Okay.
I broke Sorg.
Tournaments. I do appreciate tournament season happening. Again, the women's tournaments over there, the Continental Classic. There's a sort of mini tournament happening for the Wrestle Dynasty Cup that's happening in Tokyo Dome here at the beginning of the year. I will hold off my excitement for the Wrestle Week that will be in the first week of January, but for later. But
the
go ahead.
point that I was trying to get at for that is that we've had discussions before about AEW and their women's title tournaments in the past. So it's very similar to what's happening in WWE right now. But it's more highlighted in AEW because they're AEW. And they should have better women. Like they should have good women wrestling, which they do.
Yeah.
But I feel like because the tournament scene kind of goes overboard sometimes with AEW, because you have the Continental Classic, you have like whenever a wrestler gets injured or something like that, they have the interim title. They have
we've given. I think that is a thing of the past. By the way, I think the interim title is an experiment that has seen its day, and nobody liked it, and I don't think they're going to do it again.
But because the last time it happened, somebody spray painted a giant X over the
that didn't help either. That didn't help the situation either. No. So,
whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know.
It's probably
I'm sure wherever he is, everybody's angry at him, and he's still
causing
a poor MMA fighter.
Alliances. Still,
I think it's a good spotlight. It's bringing Willow back into the fold for the situation there. I'm hoping it does some good stuff to feature the Ring of Honor women's talent that's been doing some great stuff on that show. I'm still catching up. I'm kind of a month behind on them. I just watched the Halloween episode a few days ago. But
Emi Sakura.
What's that? Is that what Emi Sakura? Did I see is on Collision or something?
Yeah, she's on Collision against Mina.
Oh my God! God! I'm here for that. Sorry, Mina makes me lose my train of thought. Anyway,
of course, because it's her talents.
Very distracting.
Talents.
Yes. But anyways, where was I? Tournaments. Oh no, so Continental Classic. Okay, Continental Classic. I love this round. Like again, we talked about last year. It's kind of an introduction to this round robin tournament idea. I love we're expanding on it. There was a great stories being told. I love that. We had Okada and Garcia go to a draw to kind of mix things up a little bit. What was it? Darby Allin, who's suffering, the remnants of the car crash he put himself through at the pay-per-view on Saturday, ends up losing to Brody King because, oh my God, Brody King to begin with, right? I think they're doing a fantastic job intermixing these stories. I can't wait. I was just looking at the bracket Shelton Benjamin is in, and I am here for it, right? I love the underdog stories they play with these with the point system. I'm a nerd about it, so I'm down with it. You know what I mean? Like all the rest of us geeks doing bracketologies with those things. It's not just the tournament thing where it's like, guys probably win. Okay, that person's going to get interfered with. We're probably like I feel like a bracket in WWE is a little predictable for the most part, right?
So I haven't paid attention.
Oh, you haven't seen these? You haven't seen these?
No, but Shelton Benjamin versus Okada. Yes. Like just yes. 100% yes. Let's see, Claudio and Commander. Claudio
you're
versus
just
Ricochet.
you're looking at so many dream matches in this thing. You're gonna get Okada and Kyle Fletcher. You're gonna what was I getting excited? Benjamin and Fletcher. Beast Mortis and Shelton Benjamin. Beast Mortis and Okada.
We're gonna get Ospreay and Ricochet in
a tournament again.
But in like the not even the finals. You're gonna
get Ospreay and Darby. You're gonna get Ospreay and Commander, Brody King, Claudio. Like what
Brody
a
King
freaking
versus Claudio.
Oh wait, somebody got injured. Who just got injured? Commander got swapped out because somebody got injured actually. This past and apparently inherited his 0
points.
So and I can't even remember who he replaced that he got an 0-1. So,
was it Juice?
Juice Robinson, thank you. Who had a great match this week against Claudio,
Ospreay.
I think. Ospreay. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, there is a lot of like, oh, hey, this is a match from New Japan stuff happening here, but we get to see it on this side of things, right?
And that's fine. Like,
yeah.
This is
I'm here for it.
I like this style. Like it's weird. But it's different. It's not like, oh, you win one, here's your title, here's your next match.
And not terribly complicated with the point system either. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. Is it less points if they don't get a pin, I think, for a count out or something like that? I thought there was something in there, but it's not in the rules that's listed here. Everything's 20 minutes. Everybody's banned from ringside, so you don't have a lot of that BS going on, right? That you typically would in a tournament. Oh, so you screwed me out of the tournament. We're gonna feud over here, thing like to diverge, that kind of stuff, which is like good setups, but you get tired of it after a while. So, anyways, well, on that note, I want to let people know everybody gonna think about what you learned. Think about it. Everybody, think about it. Put your thinking caps on.
But while you do that,
yes,
also think about the best pepperoni pizza in Pittsburgh.
That's right, Riz. That's
Boom.
right.
That's how we do this.
That's a segue. That's a Rizway, if you will.
That's a good segue. Go ahead,
Riz. New York City style yins are made all kinds of places here in the city.
I was gonna say, you can keep it on me for a reason, Sorg.
I'm trying to talk them into this holiday pizza idea. Cranberry sauce, the capicola, right? Yeah. Maybe the turkey.
We're back on this. We're back on this.
Get them on social media. They're on all the social medias. Go to sliceonbarbie.com and find their social medias. I know they're on. Wait, that has nothing to do with pizza. But anyways, it's there anyways. But that's all right. You know what? Check out our friend Slice on Broadway.
I'm sure,
yes?
like there is a way. There is a type of hoagie that I know a lot of pizza places do. I'm not sure if Slice does yet, where they take like
wedgie. I don't think they do a wedgie. No, okay. No, they don't do a wedgie. No, no.
This guy does.
Slice on Broadway is so good you won't even care if you've just been given a wedgie. Go check them out, sliceonbroadway.com. Everybody, what did you learn from wrestling this week? Chat realm, if you got any out there, we got an eye out for you. And Riz, what did you learn about life and love in pro wrestling this week?
Like, I learned I can actually, I learned that in professional wrestling, it takes a lot for me to feel actual hate for some people in professional wrestling.
Oh, you learned to hate again. I'm glad you've got your emotions back.
Not even that. Like the amount of emotions that I felt during that.
Who doesn't want to hug Big E after getting that tongue lashing last night?
Yeah, no.
We're just like, come here, buddy. Come here, muscle
because
buddy. Come here.
Also during the.
Also, Big E just seems infinitely huggable.
Yeah.
No matter who you are.
Also during the
right?
post show, right? Oh, wouldn't you want to hug Big E?
Like, who doesn't want to hug Big E?
Yeah. Also during the post show, like, I know Wade Barrett was getting on Big E as well, and like you can tell he was pissed off
on the Raw post show.
On the pay-per-view post.
Oh, okay. I think like Wade had alluded to it a little bit too, right? So I love Wade's just like the needler. Like Wade and Nigel have that like British poke you in the rib kind of verbal jab thing going on. They're so both of them are perfect at that thing.
And
then Regal will just tell you that you're a scrumptious cupcake and he wants to eat you up, Masked Man. It's just a whole and Regal's the scarier one out of any of them. So
yeah,
I miss Regal at AEW so bad. Honestly, I really
also
do.
Give Punk some like donuts or muffins. like him opening up a box and being so disappointed in what he saw in that box. was very it's very like sad.
Let him have a moment. That's good.
I don't know.
Good.
I don't know if you saw that image yet, Sorg.
I don't know if I saw the image, but I saw like the clip of him just sitting back and says, "Does anybody have any like muffins or something?"
Here, this
So-
is. I just posted in the Slack again because somehow
Oh
I
my
can't
gosh.
get into the
oh my gosh.
into the thing. But there's CM Punk just looking very dejected about the contents
Was
of
Nick Hausman
the
there? Is Nick Mount?
dessert box.
Is Nick Hausman a banned from WWE pressers? Does he have his passport? Nick, are you out there? I love you.
Sorg,
Yes. Yes.
what did you learn from wrestling?
What did I learn from
Or what did the chat learn from
I'm
wrestling?
gonna go with the chat first. Let's start with the chat. I need to get this picture off of my thing though. The chat, as soon as I can find it. There you go. Tina learned messy Punk will never not be entertaining for me, and on a personal note, thankful for wrestling as an escape for a bit. What I've learned. There you go. And everybody else in the chat room, please jump in there. Intern
We're
John,
glad you're here too,
Intern
Tina.
John, please put what you put in. Put what you. What you God
But
words. God, words.
You know,
Blah.
have you ever? Did you ever when you dream? Did you ever when you dream the stuff that you dream when you dream? When
All right,
you,
we need to turn Riz off and turn him back on again. But you hard reset for Riz here. What did I learn from wrestling this week? Geez, there's a lot that happened here. But half of it wasn't wrestling actually. No, I learned. I learned I flipped off a wrestler during production this week, and I feel bad about it after the fact. Listen, man. So I was like, okay, we need to set up in the corner so we don't like. There's a lot of room here. I thought, we need to kind of set up and not be in the way. And I was like, okay, everybody's gonna come down the stairs and everything like that. And I know we have some of them spray beer. I'm thinking about as I'm setting this up, and also I thought fans were gonna be up there. I was like, oh, one of them dumps a beer on the steps and it lands on all my stuff. So the first match, Casey War. I love Casey War.
you flipped off Casey War.
He gets up on the corner. You watch they can pull up the match too, so you can show you. There's a point where he comes out. He's got a singles match. He's the opening match on this thing, and he kind of mounts on the corner and then gets a beer up and kind of cracks it, right? And he's directly above me. He's out far enough that like he's not actually getting anything on my stuff. And I was already hot because I was having some technical issues on the pre-show, so I was kind of like really frosty at that point, right? And so he looks down at me, and I'm just like straight up flipping him off because he's directly above me. And you see him. I think you can see it on the video.
He is the nicest person.
He is the nicest person. And he's just not the one that I thought I had to worry about. And then it's like the thing I've been worried about all night, setting this thing up, all day setting this thing up. And he's the guy that does the beer spot first. Yep, there he is. There he goes. He's just said, "I'm so sorry." There. Let me see if I'm going to roll it back a little bit here. 33 something. There you go. He pulls it up. I'm directly beneath him on this shot, by the way. Yeah, and you see he does that. I'm sorry. So sorry, Sorg. I feel bad that I fucked up his really badass entrance there.
Oh.
But listen, I was
So I have a production.
You have some notes for me?
Not for you. Like, remember how during the pay-per-view, like not this past pay-per-view, but the pay-per-view with they showed that shot of the over the shoulder shot to the ramp Roy, where Roman was. Might have been like a couple pay-per-views ago. Like they did like a shot where it's like somebody looking over onto the ramp.
Okay.
So anyways, that was cool.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
That was fun.
Okay.
Last night on Raw, it seemed like there was one guy that was dedicated to getting that shot.
Okay, are you talking about like the over-the-shoulder shot from over Punk's shoulder to Roman or to Rollins?
To Rollins,
Yeah.
and then they kept it on that shot.
Yeah. They were really about that.
Ever.
They really wanted
And
to
I'm
POV that shit. It was
okay.
really interesting. So,
Like, I wanted something to happen. Like, I wanted, like, during
is he gonna
that,
come at him right
to
at the
have-
camera or something?
Yes.
But then the other dude's in a position. They did that standoff MMA bullshit, right? Like, and he was in
Right.
the perfect spot for that,
And,
So-
and then you had that weird angle where, like, Punk's here looking out to the crowd, and then the camera guy is here, and then he just goes like around the corner where he's pointing at nothing.
Mm.
And I get the point, but it's just like, you're really close to Punk. Like, and we know Punk doesn't really like to get close to people,
Yes.
especially don't touch Punk.
From the chat room. Damn it. I just saw one of these. Matt Birch, True Prince of Pro on the social medias. I also learned how great it was to see Den and Desire finally win the 880 Tag Team Championship. No, that was awesome to see them win that. And oh my God, that crowd became so unglued. Oh, you know what else I learned? It was so great to have Sean Patrick out of retirement for a night.
Yes.
At that show. And then not only like Sean Patrick got to officiate over the full queer tag team championship, had to collect D&D weapons during that match, and then was the end of WWE Attitude pay-per-view run-in referee for the championship win at the end of the show.
It was Charles Robinson.
I hope I clip this later. God bless Sean Patrick. So yeah, absolutely. Also, intern John, who may be starting shit in the chat room, and
Good job,
trying to
John.
get MV to book Sorg versus Casey War.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've been trying to book you versus Cameraman CL for a while now. So, hey, we're in city limits,
We are.
I mean, it's a whole new game here in January at 80. But yeah,
I'm
anyways.
busy on Thursdays.
You're busy on Thursdays? Okay, sure. It's probably the same commute since you're out where you're at. Intern John learned that indie wrestlers spell indie as indie, not indie. I.e. Why not I.E.?
And
listen. Don't ask. Let's just listen. I'm pretty sure it made the final cut. Listen to Rick Bocchini explain indie wrestling, because he's the one that told me that I've been spelling it wrong this whole time.
Mhm.
But I looked back at it, and it's like literally everybody around me was spelling it with a Y in this area.
Yeah, is it IE?
It's supposed to be IE, because every time I see him, he's like, well, indie wrestling is Indianapolis. I'm like, no, Rick, it's this.
not.
Like, everybody had this. Like, everybody was using this in the late 2000s, I swear. And
Like, there's a paper.
I
there's a
swear,
belt.
Rich. And then he does
there's
the
a-
explanation during the fucking ad read while I'm producing the fucking show at Enjoy. I'm like, Rich, we don't need to do this now.
There's a belt in Pittsburgh that's called
The Super Indie. Yes.
with a Y.
Yes. Like, I'm sorry.
We'll get Norm
Pittsburgh
Connors on
fucked
the
this up,
phone
I
and-
guess, man.
Get Norm Connors on the phone. We'll settle this right now.
Actually, I've been talking.
Probably not.
You know what?
Probably not now. It's very dark.
Listen,
out.
I think I have a meeting with Norm Connors in the near future for a non-wrestling situation, and I'm gonna be like, listen, man, tell me how you spell indie. Listen, Norm. Hey, maybe it's what I don't know. Listen, Norm. You're the reason I'm here, and and you're the reason I spell it this way, and I'm getting some heat now, some 15 years later. And you gotta come correct, Norm, and tell me if I'm fucking doing this right or not.
Norm, you know, I spelled your name correctly the first time, and you got
No, I
really
definitely
excited
fucked up
about
his
that.
name a few times on his own website. I definitely
Oh,
did
no,
on several
like-
occasions.
like-
So,
During RWA,
oh yeah,
the second show he was on,
yes,
he came up to me and goes and go,
because he knew I used to fuck it up on the website.
yeah, it's like, I'm super excited that you got my name right.
like 15 years ago.
I've been here. Like
He has no idea that you're like a new Norm Connors era super fan. But this should be the
Yeah.
Patreon. Either way, we are going to get the Patreon,
We're
because I feel
still
like
here.
we're just going to keep going for another hour at this point, talking about The good old days. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, intern John, for keeping the chat room alive and interesting, and getting me in trouble here coming up here. So that's all.
So when we hear drink, when we hear Casey say he's going to drink your blood, it's going to be fun.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah. Your first day, you just accidentally started a few. Anyways, it's been brilliant.
Not accidentally. It's
yeah,
fine.
don't
It's not the
accidentally.
first time. It's not the first time on the show.
Bring in the
that
energy.
That a wrestler and Sorg don't get along.
John did come here via wrestling, so that was
That's
what was
true.
it? Enjoy, right? Yeah. So yeah, that was the. Yep.
There was the incident we're not supposed to talk about. There's
Which incident? No, okay, that's for Patreon, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.